The purpose of this speech is to inform you all about the incredible speech given by Martin Luther King Jr. that changed racism to equality and injustice to justice. I will discuss the importance of Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech, the circumstances of why it was given, how it changed history, and how it has impacted the world today. A specific line of his speech stood out to me, and it was when he said, "I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character." These words were spoken by Martin Luther King himself on August 28, 1963, at the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. I chose this quote because it is easy for the majority of the audience to relate to. There is always a soft spot in people's hearts for children. No one wants to see a child suffer or be treated unequally because of the color of their skin. This kind of gives a clear image of what the speech is going to be about. The importance of the speech, I Have a Dream, by Martin Luther King will be discussed, as well as the circumstances of why the speech was given, how it changed history, and how it made a major impact on the world today. First, I will be talking about what was going on during this time period that led to his speech. In the 1960s, the level of racism was at its highest. Black and white people were completely separated in all of life's activities. African Americans were not accepted in society like the whites were. Restrooms, schools, restaurants, transportation, etc. were all segregated. Many boycotts and deaths took place for the black community as they were trying to gain equality. A famous boycott, for example, was performed by an African American woman named Rosa Parks, who refused to give up her seat to a white person, which later she was arrested for. Some sort of powerful event needed to happen to change the injustice that was occurring, and Martin Luther King stepped up to the plate. His speech opened people's eyes. During this time, African Americans would usually get killed when fighting against white people. But Martin Luther King planned a well-thought-out speech that gave the population a reality check. The speech changed the views of thousands on what justice and equality meant to the United States of America and how things needed to change because the events that were occurring were inhumane. The background of why the speech occurred was just discussed. Second to be discussed is the impact on history and on the world today. His impact on history is outstanding. Years after the speech was given, Martin Luther King was assassinated by a man named James Earl Ray. This was a shocker and devastating tragedy to the black community. Fortunately, after many fights and hardships, Martin Luther King's goals and dreams started to come true. His efforts were the backbone of the civil rights movement, and segregation started to ease up, and equality became more apparent. Schools eventually could contain both black and white people. Drinking fountains could be shared by races, as well as restaurants and bathrooms. According to www.nobelprize.org, King traveled over 6 million miles and spoke over 2,500 times, appearing whenever there was injustice, protest, and action. He had a significant impact on history with all of his civil rights work, but this speech was definitely one of the key components of his impact. Black children and white children over time could play with each other, and African Americans were actually treated like human beings. The impact on society today. Today there is no segregation. People are all considered equal under the law. Unfortunately, there is still some leftover racism and discrimination, but no one is held back from participating or achieving because of their race. African Americans have equal opportunity for any career, including high-powered jobs, running businesses, etc., and even since 2008, running our country. Not one person is restrained by law from anything in today's society. Today we have talked about the impact of one of the greatest speeches in history. It changed the way we look and respect each other as individuals and citizens. America will forever keep equality and justice as one of its core values. I believe people should take the time to read this speech because it got us where we are today. No one is held back from friendships, love, opportunities, or certain lifestyles because of race, and this speech is one of the major factors of why. Our country's background should be important to the citizens it contains, especially when it involves respect and justice to individuality. Humans need to work together and share love, not spread hatred and discrimination. As Martin Luther King once said, man must evolve for all human conflict, a method which rejects revenge, aggression, and retaliation. The foundation of this method is love.